everybody, my name is Jaden Jr. Fonataba and I am in Teenager 2. Today we're going to be using Blender, a 3D modeling app. We're just going to make something very simple. So, if you press Shift A or Command A, or yeah, something like that, then you'll be able to get a cube. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Now I'm gonna need to do, since my current objective is to create a chair, I'm gonna only be using this one cube actually. Actually no, I'll use 2 cubes. But let me just make this a little bigger. So now I'm gonna move it up. If I'm not mistaken, if you press GX, GY, or GZ, it will go in that angle. It's basically a shortcut instead of just pulling up and down the arrows. And the same can be said about SX and SY and yeah, and SZ, as I probably would have guessed. Where was I? Okay, make this just a tiny bit smaller. Now I'm gonna need to do is go into edit mode, which allows a lot of other things, but I'm looking to subdivide, so a shortcut for subdividing is Control R. Now you can see this yellow line in the middle here. All I'm gonna need to do is just scroll 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay. Now I don't plan on moving this a lot, so I'll just keep it like that, I guess. Yep, wait. Move it just a tiny bit to make sure everything's equal, and we're good. Now let me just block all of this again, and then block all of that again, block all of this stuff again. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. But it's part of the process. This is one of those Blender apps or one of these 3D modeling stuff that takes way too much time, but in the end it turns out really well, so I'm not gonna complain. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. That should be good right there. Now basically what I did here was that I subdivided all of these, so now they are all different faces. So wait, I still need to do something. I'm going to need this. I don't need that. I only need that. Actually wait, no, I don't need to do any of this. What I actually need to do is I need to click this, and this. Now I'm gonna use something called extrude. Basically, this is basically this extension parts of the Blender. So now I can just extend this. Now it looks like a table, but then again I'm going for a chair, so let's pull these 2 up. Oh, yeah, keep in mind it's also rotatable, but I like to keep it just straight for now. I'm gonna make it a little bit taller. Now, normally there would be a lot of things that you're gonna need to do to make sure that there's holes inside of the chair, but for this one I'm not gonna really do all that. I'm gonna make it simple. Now as you can see, these holes are there without needing to do any other stuff. Now all I need to do is just add another cube on top of it to top it all off. I forgot. Whenever you want to press Shift A, always do it on object mode since nothing else works. It won't work unless it's in object mode, but you still can add it, but I still prefer Shift A. Now I'm just gonna and position this correctly. Move it to the right, up, there. Move it up a little bit more. Move it to the left a little bit more. Move it down a little. And now I'm gonna just peel this back. Yeah, that's problem if you just wanna do it like that. This happens. I just need to rearrange things and then we should be fine. Now what I'm gonna need to do is not rotate. Yeah. Okay, move it again. Move the center. The trick to this type of mechanic, where it just always goes out in two different sides, is to always place it in the center and then you can just scale it. So it'll be easier to find it. Alright, now I'm gonna group this real quick. If I'm not mistaken, it's just G. Yep, it's just simply G now. G. Wait, no, just press G. Yeah, if you press G, then you can just move it around. You can also duplicate it. But next, I'm gonna need a table. Normally, I would actually just copy from here, and then I would just not include this. I'll cut it out. But I'm gonna just go through step by step again because it's easier for me. So cube, and now I'm gonna need to adjust positioning. Keep in mind, size is very important. Position is very important when it comes to Blender. It may not be as important in other 3D modeling aspects, but this one is important in there. It's very okay, that's a little too thick, don't you think? So let's move that a little. Actually, why does this actually kind of look good? I kind of need to just make it thinner a little bit. There you go. And I'm gonna move it here. Now I'm gonna do the exact same thing I did to the chair. Now all I'm gonna need to do is I'm gonna need to subdivide. So I'm gonna go to edit mode, Control R, Control R. If I'm not mistaken, it should be subdividing. Wait. And then subdivide. Control R. Subdivide. Okay, there you go. What's happening to the Control R button? Okay, there it is. Yeah, that happens. Let's make this more simple. I hate it when it does that. You can see the number of cuts up here. So, there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it at 8. Wait, what am I doing counting up here? Just look at that. Whatever. Now I'm gonna need to select all of it again. This is the tedious work. Be careful not to select the chair while doing this. That always happens to me. That almost got all of them. All I need to do is click.
All of it?
Almost all of it. Yeah, most of the time I do it all of it. And Control R. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Maybe.
I think it's too big, Jaden.
Yeah, it is a little too big though. And now I kind of need to. I'm planning to see if I should decrease the size a little, because that's the type of thing that normally happens with this. You always have second guesses about what you're gonna want to do, what you need to do. It can be annoying, but that's what we enjoy. Okay. Now I think I should just go into object mode for this one, because I'm not gonna select all of it again, right? So let's make things a little bit smaller. There you go. That's not too bad. Let me just move this aside. Let's move this aside. Move it in because you always see these chairs in. Now I'm gonna create other chairs. So I don't actually really need to create other chairs. All I need to do is just Shift D. There you go. What I did there was not Control D or not Control C, Control V. I did Shift D. Yeah, that's one of the many things. Let me rotate again to be able to fix it up. I always end up referring to this one. There's this part of the transform. As you can see, it really helps with rotation. So because if you miss anything, detail is very important, so in the end the whole thing might come down. So yep. Actually, I don't think it can be raised anymore. It's a little too much rotated. Yeah, I'm gonna just continue doing this. Oopsie. Yeah, that's one of the things that can happen. If you're in a control like this, it's gonna be very, let's just say tedious if you're not careful on what you're clicking. And there you go. Now I need to do Shift D again, rotate again. Once you actually have a base for everything, it becomes easier after that. So once you already built a couple of things, it's... Why did I press Control R? Shift D. Now all I need to do is rotate it. Okay, and what happens if I just rotate this? Oopsie. Remember to press Shift whenever you're trying to do that, so you can select more than two objects. Move. You make sure everything's aligned. You make sure everything's down to surface. I always forget to press Shift. It's the weird part. Okay. Centerize again. Yeah, so this is really just the basics on how you can make this. Think of this as the beginner step. If you want to try Blender, always try making a chair and a table first. Wait, that's a little too far in. Move it a little more out.
Don't forget to give the color.
Oh yeah, the color. And if I go in here, if I were to just give this a new material. Oh yeah, I need to go in here to see that, don't I? Yep. I'm gonna just do it separately. Wait, what color was that again? If I go here and then I press H and E, X, I'll just find this. So if you want to keep it the same color, you can just Control C and then go here and then Control V. But I'm actually gonna make it different colors for each chair because I want to. Okay, now I'm gonna put... I think I'm gonna go orange on this one. Yeah, something like that. Alright, let me go find the hex for that. Okay, cool. Now all I need to do is just select it, Control C, and press new material, go to base color. I'm already at it. EX. Orange, yellow, green. There you go. Now I'm gonna need to go yellow, which is more on the lighter side. Yep, I think that should do. Time to click the HEX again. I don't like this part. I was just copy and pasting. But it's easy though. Now it was green, so let's go somewhere here. There, and I'm just gonna make this one. Oh, cool, yeah, because I use extrude here. Normally, if you'd want to use extrude, you would have to select all. Yeah, I have to select each and every single one of these, which would just be more tiring. So, if you can do it with a single cube, do it with a single cube. I use extrude, so it's easier. So in the end, it's just one whole cube. So in the end, if you want to make it the same color, it's easier. If you don't want to make it the same color though, what you're gonna need to do is that you're gonna have to build it all the way from scratch, and you're gonna have to keep on going to that. There you go, I practically made a rainbow. I want to add something else. I'm just gonna add some cylinder, because why not? I'm gonna let it act as a little glass of water. So there it is. Now I'm just gonna shifty. There you go. Now this looks like some random tea party. I don't drink tea. I really don't. I don't like tea. Okay, that was a little too much. Yep, I think I'm gonna make that purple. I can make all of this the same color by using material. If you do want to change the color, wait, I need to move this up. If you do want to have different colors for each of this, all you're gonna need to do is select one, because I created it separately, and the entity or the shape is not actually bonded together, which means if this shape is turned into green, the others won't be green. But since I'm doing it like this, everything is material 10 here, which means everything should be the same color, but it seems like it ain't working, so, but that's okay. I'm just kidding. I want some different colors anyways. Actually, no, I think I should just put it all purple. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it all purple. I'm just gonna select everything. Yep. New one, hex again. New. There. I think that's all I can really do for now. So that's all, everybody. Thank you very much for watching.